Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, September 15th, at 7:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 682 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Alex Murdaugh will surrender after confessing to insane plot. High school teacher says telling students to behave in class is white supremacy. Moderna analysis, those vaccinated last year twice more likely to contract COVID-19. A fitness influencer and bodybuilder was charged with 6 counts of drug possession after investigators say she received a package of steroids. Georgia businesswoman announces primary challenge against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump was fixated on the Navy's new supercarrier and ranted to military leaders that the ship just doesn't look right. Book. Ex-House Speaker settles child sexual abuse payment suit. Tourists from China sue Utah after deadly tour bus crash. Search at Grand Canyon turns up remains of another person. Navy sailor slapped on 9/11 anniversary by woman calling him a fake, but he's not. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Kim Kardashian's makeup artist reacts to confusion over her concealed Met Gala glam, E! News. France says it has killed Islamic State leader in Greater Sahara, Adnan Abu Walid al-Sahrawi, The Guardian. Alex Murdaugh to surrender to authorities after warrant issued, lawyer says, Fox News. Fantasy Football Rankings Week 2, 2021, model that beat expert says start Antonio Brown, sit Adam Thielen, CBS Sports. SpaceX launches 4 amateurs on private Earth-circling trip, Associated Press. SpaceX launches its first private crewed mission to space, The Verge. LA County will require proof of vaccination or negative test at bars, nightclubs, and events, Fox News. As Republicans dig in on debt ceiling, Democrats try shaming McConnell, The New York Times. Wildfires shatter Sequoia National Park and threaten famous ancient trees, The Washington Post. In response to Firestorm, CBS The Activist will be retooled from competitive series into a documentary special exclusive, Variety. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. New rainbow fly species with legs for days named after RuPaul. Nicki Minaj says she got White House invite after dubious COVID shot claims. The next star of ABC's The Bachelor may be this orthopedic sales rep. WHO reports substantial drop in global COVID-19 cases, U.S. stays elevated. Biden announces Indo-Pacific alliance with UK, Australia. What COVID nurses want you to know right now. Experts predict how the COVID variant will affect fall travel. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez makes late, lonely push for unemployment benefits. California lawmakers plan reform to state's chaotic recall system. SpaceX launches first ever passenger flight around the world. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Candidate shouted down by protesters. Emotional resident speaks after Surfside collapse. Officer rescues elderly man from burning home. Man peddles for a purpose for non-profits. BGSU professor pleads not guilty to rape charge. Officer seriously injured, suspect fatally shot. Football player in the intensive care unit after contracting COVID. Volleyball coach indirectly uses her past to help motivate players. Elementary school learns where food comes from. Town takes step toward $11 million settlement. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Fall in love with the dreamy beans of September. Police in Aurora, Colo, engaged in racially biased policing, inquiry finds Alex Murdaugh to surrender for staging his own killing. Biden announces a defense deal with Australia in a bid to counter China. Inspiration for crew embarks on 3-day mission in orbit. After Governor Gavin Newsom's victory, Californians tally the cost. U.S. COVID booster shot policy is in flux as studies add to dissent. Larry Nassar hearing, Biles, Raisman, Maroney and Nichols testify. Newsom beat the recall, now comes the hard part, governing California. Democrats continue to struggle with men of color. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Kim Potter asks court to dismiss first-degree manslaughter charge. France issues angry response to nuclear submarine deal between US, UK, and Australia. Larry David, Timothée Chalamet grab lunch in NYC after Fashion Week, and fans cannot get enough, iconic. Virginia Tech professor apologizes for being white, straight cisgendered female. Prince William rubs elbows with stars, Kate Middleton returns to royal duties as Prince Andrew's suit escalates. Bongino, if Millie warned China, he should be court-martialed. Pittsburgh CBP officer sees fake COVID vaccine cards shipped from China. NFL Power Rankings 2021, top 10 teams ahead of Week 2. Schwarber, Vasquez Power Red Sox pass Mariners 9-4-10. Winston praises Peyton as Saints assistants deal with COVID. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, September 16th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Woman clinically dead for 45 minutes miraculously brought back to life, so grateful God gave me second chance. More revenue, fewer hours, company says 4-day work week increased productivity. Being vaccinated against COVID could help you get hired, put it on your resume, recruiter says. Bryce Young has been outstanding as a first-year starter. CBS's Brian Jones previews number 1 Alabama versus number 14 Florida, other Week 3 games. Child tax credit, September payments arriving in parents' bank accounts. Researchers say some people have developed superhuman immunity against COVID-19. Tough as nails new challengers announced for Season 3. Survivor 41, downloadable Survivor pool. These millennials were worldly, wise and funny, author Jeff Hobbs on book Show Them You're Good. Justin Long on new movie Lady of the Manor, dodgeball and accepted. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. R. Kelly's victims at sex trafficking trial once represented by lawyer who pressured them to sign NDA. Marilyn Manson rape accusers lawsuit dismissed over statute of limitations. Nicki Minaj says Twitter limited her account after recent tweets about COVID-19 vaccine. Kentucky surgical technician, 29, who held off on vaccine over infertility fears dead before wedding. Careers expert, the 4 things employers wish they could say about your cover letter. Emma Raducanu trademarked her name within hours of her U.S. Open win. Elvis for sale, he's Britain's No One Presley fan, but now he struggles to sell the official fan club. Terry Lubbock fought for justice for son who died in Michael Barrymore's swimming pool, Beth Hale. Boris and Biden will meet at the White House to discuss China, climate change and COVID. Jealousy over undeserved MBE led to bitter fallout between pair of business partners. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. The US was a global leader in vaccinations, now it's falling behind. China initiative aims to stop economic espionage, is targeting academics over grant fraud overkill? Rebounding after vaccine debacle, EU chief seeks to project confidence. Southwest China earthquake collapses homes, kills at least 2. Haiti faces fresh instability as PM comes under scrutiny. Alberta leader apologizes, imposes restrictions and passport. Dueling ballistic missile tests on Korean peninsula signal rising tensions. France says head of Islamic State in Sahara has been killed. An indigenous TikTok user in the Amazon posted a video of herself eating beetle larvae. Now she has 6 million followers. Draft of Cuba's new family code opens door for gay marriage. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. The problem with OnlyFans' mainstream dream. Study Newsom's playbook, what Democrats and Republicans can learn from California's recall. France says it has killed Islamic State leader in Greater Sahara, Adnan Abu Walid al-Tharawi. SpaceX launches world's first amateur astronaut crew to orbit Earth. US, UK and Australia forge military alliance to counter China. Man behind world's biggest source of child abuse imagery is jailed for 27 years. US court overturns murder conviction of police officer who shot Justine Damond. Stirling Prize shortlist, from mosque stunner to Neolithic flats. Larger than usual, this year's ozone layer hole bigger than Antarctica. 1 in 500 Americans have died of COVID, and some hospitals reach capacity. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Ex-cop's murder conviction reversed in 911 caller's death. Haiti faces fresh instability as PM comes under scrutiny. SpaceX successfully launches first all-civilian flight into Earth's orbit. Probe after Elijah McClain's death finds racial bias in police department. Boyfriend named person of interest after 22-year-old goes missing during road trip. Philadelphia pays $2 million to woman beaten by police, separated from her son. Court won't stop protests outside Michigan synagogue. Live, ABC News Live. Department of Justice documents impacts of Texas abortion ban in new court filings. Watch, police searching for driver behind gender reveal stunt. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Bitcoin protests in El Salvador against cryptocurrency as legal tender. How Morocco's king dealt a blow to political Islam. French storms, 7 drown in choppy Mediterranean. Mangrove forests, photography winner show beauty of ecosystems. Rose Atkins on, why people are using a horse drug. The homemakers breaking taboos on Instagram. On the trail of fake medicine smugglers in Benin. Canadian prairie ranchers struggle with drought conditions. Canada election, Lytton fire puts village at center of debate. UK, US and Australia launch pact to counter China. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. 101-year-old lobster woman has no plans to stop. SpaceX launches first all-civilian crew into orbit without professional astronauts. Florida woman reported missing after Fink returns from trip without her, authorities say he's a person of interest. Alex Murdaugh case, 2018 death of South Carolina woman sparks investigation, lawsuit. How did California Governor Gavin Newsom so easily beat back a recall attempt? There are too few Republicans to vote him out. Cancer survivor Haley Arsenault to become youngest American in space with SpaceX launch. Suspects hired to kill South Carolina lawyer arrested. Farmers facing drought consider water markets. SpaceX launches 4 amateurs into Earth orbit. Today in history for September 16th. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. How many ballots are left to be counted in the California recall election? California's costly, confusing recall sparks an effort to rethink the rules. Homeless veteran stabbed to death at encampment near VA in West LA. KNP complex fire burns within mile of giant forest, threatening towering sequoia preserve. El Segundo woman charged with torturing and killing her 7-year-old daughter. Column, Trump branded the GOP a party of racists, Larry Elder as standard bearer won't help. Column, Republicans learn the way of Trump is a big loser in California. LA County plans to require proof of vaccination at indoor bars, nightclubs, breweries, wineries. California recall results closely linked to COVID-19 vaccination rates. Man with knife arrested outside Ariana Grande's Hollywood Hills home after confrontation. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, September 16th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. France says head of Islamic State in Sahara has been killed. Ransomware encrypts South Africa's entire depth of justice network. Macron announces the death of Abu Walid al-Sarwawi at the hands of French forces, leader of ISIS in the Sahara. Illegal logging reaches Amazon's untouched core, terrifying new research shows. Ottawa is lending billions to developers. The result, $1,500 affordable rents. US, UK and Australia forge military alliance to counter China. More than 850 anti-logging protesters are arrested in Canada, making history. Pfizer says data suggests vaccine boosters needed for waning vaccine efficacy. Facebook under fire over secret team research. None of the world's major economies, including the entire G20, have a climate plan that meets their obligations under the 2015 Paris Agreement, according to an analysis published Wednesday, despite scientists warning that deep cuts to greenhouse gas emissions are needed now. Taiwan is sea fortress against China, minister tells U.S. audience. Japan's tally of centenarians hits record 86,500, and women account for 88% of them. Canada, Alberta healthcare system on verge of collapse as COVID cases and anti-vax sentiments rise. 3 former U.S. intelligence operatives have admitted to breaking U.S. laws by carrying out hacking operations for the United Arab Emirates. Biden to announce joint deal with UK and Australia on advanced defense tech sharing. The next headlines are from Forbes. Jesse Marsh under pressure as RB Leipzig continues to struggle despite $108 investment. Broadway is back. Here's every show currently running as New York reopens. Twitter denies putting Nicki Minaj in Twitter jail for spreading COVID vaccine rumors. BTS's Butter has already sold more than 2.5 million copies in Korea. Biden lawsuit against Texas abortion law gets October 1st hearing date. The Morning Show, Season 1 was great, Season 2 is even better. U.S. will help Australia build nuclear submarines in New Deal countering China. A new generation of smart TVs is changing the way we watch TV. Spirited Club Brugge spoils Messi's European debut for PSG. LA County to require proof of vaccination to enter bars, nightclubs and large outdoor events. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Structure-based classification predicts drug response in EGFRI, mutant NSCLC. Widespread phytoplankton blooms triggered by 2019 to 2020 Australian wildfires. Directed assembly of layered perovskite heterostructures as single crystals. Acinar cell clonal expansion in pancreas homeostasis and carcinogenesis. Structural basis for ternomethylethylation by the radical SAM enzyme MIAB. Aquatic foods to nourish nations. Rational design of a new antibiotic class for drug-resistant infections. Structural basis of human transcription DNA repair coupling. Structural insights into hepatitis C virus receptor binding and entry. An engineered IL-2 partial agonist promotes CD8, sub T-cell stemness. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,731,762,595 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Japanese stars join Ansel Elgort in Tokyo Vice series for HBO Max and WoW. In response to Firestorm, CBS The Activist will be retooled from competitive series into a documentary special exclusive. Robert Pattinson and HER co-chairing Academy Museum party ahead of opening. Hillary Clinton and Chelsea Clinton outline strategy for Hidden Light Productions, option Maisie Dobbs Books. Stacey Snider talks sister launch and finding the industry's new normal. I'm not a snob about what a movie is. Eyes of Tammy Faye star Jessica Chastain joined by gaggle of drag queens at NYC premiere. Claudius Ulevsky on making the transition from YouTube to film, it won't be this immediate switch. Scream Queensland agrees fan development of 2 Wattpad projects exclusive. Apple is releasing 2 brand new iPads and they're already available for pre-order. Emmy producers reveal telecast plans, TV Academy CEO confirms re-election but exclusive. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. World leaders may have to be vaccinated to speak at the UN next week. Hispanics and Latinos are the biggest moviegoers, the big screen doesn't reflect that. Colorado Governor Jared Polis' wedding marks first same-sex marriage of sitting governor. A Colorado investigation of Elijah McClain's death alleges racially biased policing. Why Biden is taking the rare step of sharing nuclear submarine tech with Australia. Efforts to recall governors are common, but they rarely succeed. International Criminal Court backs probe of Duterte's war on drugs in the Philippines. General Milley defends his call to a Chinese general about Trump's rhetoric and the U.S. A shimmering rainbow fly has been named in honor of RuPaul. The U.S. will require would-be immigrants to prove they've been vaccinated for COVID. The following headlines are from The Week. SpaceX launches first all-civilian crew into orbit. U.S. to share nuclear submarine technology with Australia. GOP lawmaker in New Hampshire becomes a Democrat, saying anti-mask extremists pushed him out. It's approaching apocalyptic, how the dearth of intensive care unit beds is threatening non-COVID patients. Republicans and Democrats vastly overestimate how much the other side supports political violence, paper finds. Lindsey Graham boosts Afghanistan's anti-Taliban resistance behind the scenes. Is SpaceX's inspiration for really an inspiration? AOC says she cannot let federal pandemic unemployment benefits expire without at least trying a new bill. Trinidad Health Minister is furious he had to waste time fact-checking Nicki Minaj's swollen testicles tweet. Jen Psaki dismisses GOP critics of General Milley, a leader of their party fomented an insurrection and many of them were silent. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Wastewater threatens Texas streams. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Cosmic rays erode away all but the largest interstellar objects. Here's how to watch Inspiration 4 blast off on Wednesday. A 6-year search of the outer solar system turns up 461 new objects, but no Planet 9. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, September 16th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. SpaceX lasers define next era of Starlink technology. Harvest Moon 2021, all you need to know. Rerun of a supernova blast expected 2037. Moon, Saturn, Jupiter September 15th to 18. The next news is from Politico. That fellow from down under, Aussies cringe as Biden appears to forget PM's name. How California's recall could reverberate in future elections. Opinion why Trump's chaos requires new guardrails on Biden. Opinion the stolen election myth has become an albatross for the GOP. On the China COVID investigation, take the virus hunter approach. Newsom, RFK admiration shows where I might be leaning on Sirhan parole. Judge sets October 1st hearing on Department of Justice request to freeze Texas abortion ban. Opinion why progressives shouldn't push Biden to oust Trump's Fed chair. Hastert settles child sexual abuse payment suit. Obama's transportation chief to Biden, mandate vaccines for airline travel. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Using super to upsize a rental property portfolio. Australia News Live, Australia's nuclear submarine deal to counter China, NSW records 1,351 new COVID cases, Victoria records 514 cases, restrictions to ease lightly. Last tickets to Perth AFL Grand Final sell out in seconds. Unemployment rate falls to 13-year low as thousands drop out of jobs market. Scott, Dylan to run Niluk AFL football department. El Salvador's Bitcoin experiment is off to a rocky start. The fella from down under heads to a nuclear-powered election. 2 men extradited to Sydney over alleged $150 million drug plot. Australia to build at least 8 nuclear-powered submarines under historic new military alliance. Risky move, Minister approves coal mine despite climate legal challenge. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The Margin, health officials debunk Nicki Minaj's claim that COVID vaccine caused impotence. Uber, Lyft and other gig companies facing fights over Prop 22 in California, and in states where they want to replicate it. Crypto, at end of the day, if Bitcoin is successful governments will kill it, says Ray Dalio. Market Extra, office giant Boston Properties raises $850 million with new 12-year green bond financing. Newswatch, stock market investors brace for quadruple witching this Friday. Texas Instruments hikes dividend 13%, more than half of free cash flow paid to stockholders. Cisco projects growth of 5% to 7% over next 4 fiscal years as software sales continue to climb. The Margin, how to watch the SpaceX Inspiration 4 mission launch. The Ratings Game, Electronic Arts stock bounces back after Battlefield 2042 feat release in 2021 announced. Market Snapshot, S&P 500 scores best daily gain in almost 3 weeks despite stomach-churning days for stock market. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Wait to rule on Hirschfeld's Arthrex Authority, Fed, Circ, told, Law 360. The catalog of carceral surveillance, patents aren't products, yet, F. Had too many potential recall voters already moved to Texas, The Wall Street Journal. Toolgen files opposition to broad preliminary motion number 3 to de-designate claims as corresponding to either interference count, J.D. Supra. Research, Stony Brook News. Cameroon looks to traditional medicine to fight coronavirus spread. Borneo Bulletin Online. Borneo Bulletin Online. Key intellectual property issues in M&A transactions. Lexology. Scalable Archives releases new collection inventions and technologies in America. American Inventor, 1878-1887, Around the Web Pennsylvania, PennsylvaniaNewsToday.com. Shall be the property is insufficient to automatically assign title to an invention in a contract. Intellectual Property, United States, Mondac News Alerts. Understanding the relevance of market research for patents. Intellectual Property, India, Mondac News Alerts. The next headlines are from Quartz. Scientists are getting closer to understanding long COVID. Casinos could be the next target in China's crackdown on social vice. The U.S. women's soccer team got the same contract as the men. Social bonds. The best way to avoid new COVID variants is to delay booster shots. Boris Johnson was no match for Nicki Minaj in an online spat about vaccine misinformation. Pasture conditions in the U.S. are the worst they've been since 2012. That's bad for inflation. Europe's record power prices are a case for more renewables, not fewer. ETFs are now a $7 trillion industry, and they're growing faster than ever. China will punish its own companies if they break laws in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Content moderation case study, Twitter removes verified badge in response to policy violations, 2017. Musk's Starlink pre-order subscribers say customer service is a no-show. Trump donor who propped up his $2 billion hotel business with $96 million in COVID loans threatens website for publishing facts and opinions. Satire site gets ridiculous threat letter from baseball team, CC's Barbra Streisand in its response. Daily Deal, the 25 courses for $25 web development mega bundle. London's top cop says big tech, encryption are letting the terrorists win. FCC will take a closer look at iced landlord broadband monopolies. Mistrial declared in Backpage founders trial, after Department of Justice ignores judge's rules regarding what it could present. Kickstarter for hand-drawn video game manual shuts down due to IP threat. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Reba McEntire. Battlefield 2042. Roberto Clemente. Club Brugge vs PSG. Karen. Alex Murdaugh. Real Madrid. SpaceX launch. Faroe Islands. Devin Booker. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. FDA not yet sold on COVID-19 booster jabs, as Pfizer and Moderna share data showing their vaccines lose efficacy over time. France regrets AUKUS nuclear submarine deal that scuttled its multi-billion contract of century with Australia. Los Angeles County to demand proof of vaccination at indoor bars, jab certificate or negative COVID test at large outdoor events. SpaceX launches Inspiration 4 from Florida as part of historic all-civilian space mission. French special forces neutralize terrorist leader of Islamic State's Greater Sahara cell, Macron says. Twitter locks out Nicki Minaj after Trinidad government denies vaccine links to swollen testicles live on TV. U.S. Capitol Police ask Pentagon for National Guard troops to help cope with protest against mistreatment of January 6 rioters. North Korea says it successfully tested railway-borne missile in latest launch, state media. Three eyes, against China, Biden says U.S. and UK to help Australia build conventionally armed nuclear submarines. Rival fans beg Lionel Messi for mercy, and PSG oblige as all-star lineup falls flat on Argentine stars Champions League debut. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Evergrande suspends trading in all bonds. Canada's Conservatives are using soaring inflation to help defeat Trudeau. An ESG backfire conundrum is triggering a global energy crisis. Propane prices soar as inventory concerns mount ahead of winter. Rebutting Paul Krugman on the Austrian pandemic. Fukushima plant operator admits it neglected to investigate faulty exhaust filters used to contain radioactive pollution. World's biggest battery in California overheats, shuts down. SpaceX launches first ever private crew to space for 3-day mission. Collapse in retail investor euphoria points to imminent correction, Vanda warns. 5-minute plus wait time for 911 calls in Portland amid staff shortages, efforts to defund police. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. First all-civilian SpaceX crew launches into space. North Korea confirms testing new railway-launched missiles. Can a new scheme help improve life for Singapore's domestic workers? US, UK and Australia agree new Indo-Pacific Security Pact. Brazil's top court shelves indigenous land case, no new date set. Forced all-civilian space crew set to blast off on SpaceX rocket. Indigenous leaders urge action as Canada's election nears. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson reshuffles his top team. What could an Evergrande debt default mean for China and beyond? Sheikh Jarrah's Elker twins make Time Top 100 list. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Plouffe, Republicans speaking to their sick, perverted 1/3 of the country injected by Fox News, Breitbart. Colorado teachers could face arrest for not enforcing mask mandate, parents to sue health department. Democrats reject plan to mandate coronavirus vaccines for immigrants. Actor Jeff Daniels, white Americans suffering from blindness to racism must get educated so we can welcome in a new America. Report, Democrats will struggle to keep the House majority in 2022. Warner, my GOP colleagues would be very happy to see Donald Trump fade away. California sheriff stands up to federal government, refuses to implement vaccine mandate. Humboldt Prince Harry crouches behind Meghan Markle on cover of Time magazine. Watch, they chose to protect a child molester, Michaela Maroney accuses FBI of falsifying docs, enabling child abuser. Globalists unite, Clinton, Bush, Obama team up with Biden to import Afghans. The next headlines are from UPI News. Australians win $733,000 lottery jackpot while on vacation. Metal detector hobbyist finds class ring lost 10 years earlier in New York. Frankenstein first edition sells for a record $1.17 million at auction. Watch, bears take a dip in Massachusetts family's inflatable pool. Watch, traffic blocking alligator rescued from Texas highway amid tropical storm. 2021 Toy Hall of Fame finalists include Cabbage Patch Dolls, Risk. 820-foot pedestrian bridge in Ontario earns Guinness World Record. Look, Florida Sheriff's deputies wrangle loose emu in residence yard. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Company sells plant-based biodegradable masks, truly closing the loop. Free return of used masks to recycle into new ones. Oxygen therapy may slow hallmarks of Alzheimer's, study finds. Rare Bronze Age coffin has been accidentally discovered in a golf course pond. Man and this wild bird have an adorable bond after a chance roadside encounter. A town near Rome is selling old homes for $1, a trend across Italy in many beautiful villages. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, September 16th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Men with stolen Disney iPad caught giving tour at Hollywood studios, deputies say. Republicans have spread a rumor that President Biden's ability to speak is controlled with a wireless push button. Senator James Risch asked Sec of State Blinken to tell him the name of the person who has the authority to press the button and to cut off the president's speaking ability. Mexico to give away El Chapo safe house in lottery. Tucker Carlson makes on-air plea to swollen testicled friend of Nicki Minaj's cousin. Attorney wanted man to kill him for insurance money, SC authorities say. 40% of people would have sex with a robot, study exclaims. A concerned Elizabeth Holmes trial observer has secret identity. Police, Kentucky man accused of firing shots out of hotel window says he was shooting at aliens. Cosmic concrete, all it takes is dust and a little astronaut blood to build low-cost homes in space. Rainbow colors and legs for days, Australian fly species named after drag star RuPaul. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. 5 real AI threats that make the Terminator look like kindergarten cop. This mountain charger was built just for the iPhone 12, and covers all the bases. Answering one of the most Googled questions, what is my IP address? New York bans gas guzzler sales by 2035, can more states follow suit already? Apple's plans to scan users' devices raises big tech trust issues. Everything new with the iPhone 13's cameras. The real winners of the Apple event are Apple Watch Band owners. The new iPad mini was the best part of yesterday's Apple's event. The following headlines are from Science Daily. New study challenges understanding of pandemic preparedness and resilience in Africa. Older age, chronic comorbidities associated with more severe COVID disease in children. Making musical performances safer in the era of COVID-19. COVID-19 slows birth rate in US, Europe. Have we detected dark energy? Scientists say it's a possibility. Planets form in organic soups with different ingredients. Milk-enabled massive steppe migration. Many mothers may have delayed or abandoned plans for additional children because of COVID-19 pandemic. Whoop, new autonomous method precisely detects endangered whale vocalizations. Astronomers solve 900-year-old cosmic mystery surrounding Chinese supernova of 1181 AD. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, September 16th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA statement on National Aerospace Week. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Yellowstone National Park sets August record for visitors. Intermountain Healthcare is overstating intensive care unit capacity problems, Utah lawmaker says. Moab records detailed domestic problem reported before Gabby Petito's disappearance. Lost lamb at the University of Utah gains fame as the U of U, as it evades animal control. Here's how many Afghan refugees are headed to Utah. It could take years to solve ozone pollution on the Wasatch Front, state regulator says. Worker dies after MRI machine falls at University of Utah Hospital. 2 dead in shooting at Sandy home. After Utah Supreme Court ruling, lawmakers must now decide how to define sex on birth certificates. Bagley cartoon, last time caller. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Physicists make square droplets and liquid lattices. iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro feature dual SIM support. DoorDash sues NYC over customer data law. SpaceX launches first all-tourist crew into orbit. ExpressVPN new key facts of executive who worked for UAE spy unit. PS5 software update brings SSD installation, 3D audio Wednesday. Kazakhstan moves to restrict foreign social media usage. Congress will investigate claims that Instagram harms teens. Emergency software patches are on the rise. FCC wants landlords to stop screwing up your internet. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. St. Louis City documents neighborhood population drop with 2020 census data. AP, how many Afghanistan evacuees are heading for Missouri? St. Louis County massage therapist convicted in sexual assault. Illinois boasts about more custom St. Louis Cardinals plates than Missouri. Missouri governor orders flags to have staff to honor fallen Wentzville Marine. Archery season begins for deer in Missouri. Map, funeral procession for Jared Schmitz to close 30 miles of interstate Thursday. St. Louis native Pet Maroon brings Stanley Cup home, never give up on your dreams. St. Clair County has one of highest rates of zombie foreclosures in country. Half of St. Louis County population now fully vaccinated against COVID. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Police identify man killed in shooting outside local bar. Local dad pleads for return of kids stranded in Afghanistan. Man to stand trial for murder in fatal 2020 gas lamp quarter stabbing. 4 accused of stealing nearly $2 million in merchandise from SoCal retailers. Inspiration for liftoff, SpaceX launches world's first all-civilian mission into Earth's orbit. Imperial Beach considers vaccine mandate for city employees. Traffic blocked on eastbound I-8 due to crash. Man found dead in Mission Bay. Firefighters battle fire near Barrio Logan storage yard. Teen faces murder charge in juvenile court after young woman shooting. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. RBSL showcases game-changing main battle tank at DSEI. Taliban find dozens of ballistic missiles in Panjshir Valley. U.S. Navy aerial refueling drone refuels F-35 for the first time. Russian military fields new B-19 combat vehicle. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Me Too setback, Chinese court rules dismisses ex-intern's sexual harassment case against TV star. Barefaced truths. In 1973, the Philadelphia Orchestra did its part to kickstart modern U.S.-China relations. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, September 16, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Man accused of throwing girl off balcony believed she was a demon, police say. Proposal to close tax gap could give IRS more information about your bank account. Biden and UK, Australia leaders announce partnership. Central America celebrates 200 years of independence. Video, water main break in San Francisco. Marin County announces COVID-19 vaccine plan for those ages 5 to 11. Yom Kippur, what to know about the holiest day in Jewish faith. Gabby Petito disappearance, Utah police investigated fight between 22-year-old Frank month before she went missing. Strangers donate $1 million to baby girl, widow of Marine killed in Kabul bombing. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. There's no they need to take more shots downfield. Stafford sees ways to improve after impressive Rams debut. Southwest China earthquake collapses homes, kills at least 2. Chinese state media say an earthquake collapsed homes, killed at least 2 people and injured dozens in Sichuan province. Contest winners, health worker orbiting world in SpaceX first. Fire give up hat-trick in loss to DC United. Cases of COVID-19 are rising in children, but there's reason for optimism, expert says. Metra directors approve 21% raise for top executive, but it's not unanimous. Anti-mask protests continue near Glen Ellen School despite concerns from parents. Hastert settles lawsuit over sex abuse hush money. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. New 18,000 square foot skate plaza unveiled at Seattle Center. Poll, Bruce Harrell leads in Seattle mayoral race, but many voters are still undecided. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Orange earthquake alert, magnitude 5.4 m, depth 10 km, in China September 15, 2021, 2033 UTC, 17,430,000 people within 100 kilometers. Red alert for tropical cyclone Chengdu 21, population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour, wind speeds or higher is 5.037 million. Green alert for tropical cyclone Nicholas 21, population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0.476 million. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in Russia. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Greece, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Brazil. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, September 16th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Many Southeast Texas residents face another dark night as Centerpoint crews work to restore power. Student with cerebral palsy allegedly beaten on his birthday at school after argument, mom claims. Simone Biles, other star gymnasts testify before Congress on FBI's Larry Nassar investigation. City of Houston reviewing series of parking policy changes in Midtown. SpaceX launches 4 imagers on private Earth-circling trip. Widow gets help from Harris Company appraisal district after husband missed hearing while he was in coma. I am failing these children, says head of state's foster care system. Rice military residents were fearful as armed men lurked through their neighborhood. Here's how Nicholas will impact Houston's weather again on Thursday. Otters spotted playing in Houston's Buffalo Bayou. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. 11th hour negotiations underway on new Ohio legislative map. Parsons vetoes withstand GOP legislatures override efforts. Democrats could change weaponized California recall system. Alberta leader apologizes, imposes restrictions and passport. Draft of Cuba's new family code opens door for gay marriage. Latest, Alaska has new daily high in coronavirus infections. Federal judge declines to block Florida ban on mask mandates. White House offers Nicki Minaj call to answer vaccine queues. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. De Blasio confident vaccine mandate for school staff will overcome legal challenges. Cuomo's $50 million High Line extension is still happening, Hochul confirms. Extra extra, nothing gets people mad like a list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Report, NYC food delivery workers face low pay, high risks. Behold Summit, New York City's newest observatory with vertigo-inducing glass balcony. COVID is surging back into Rikers and NYC jails. NYC is notoriously bad with tech, can the next mayor change that? Brooklyn NAACP sues New York State, NYC Boards of Elections. Coronavirus stats, back to school edition, tracking outbreaks in NYC education. Attica, a small town with a big prison and a bloody history. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Syria caught in a downward spiral, UN relief chief tells Security Council. UN sends Gabon peacekeepers home from Central African Republic, following abuse allegations. New South Sudan Parliament can infuse urgency into peace process. Urgent action needed over artificial intelligence risks to human rights. Even as IUCN Congress closes, conservation debate hots up. Eating wild meat significantly increases zoonotic disease risk, UN report. White privilege, what it is, what it means and why understanding it matters. Global economy projected to show fastest growth in 50 years. COVID crises highlight strengths of democratic systems, says Guterres. The COVID-19 youth employment crisis in Asia and the Pacific. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Life site releases comprehensive guide on filing for religious exemptions to COVID vaccine mandates. 9/11 launched the first of the unaccountable bailouts by the Fed to Wall Street. Ireland, 54% of hospital patients with COVID are fully vaccinated. Fauci, we're going to mandate CV shots if hardcore group of holdouts are not persuaded to submit. A swarm of 700 earthquakes rattles Canary Islands, sparks speculation of volcanic eruption. License plate readers use footage from Ring, smartphones and ATMs to ID vehicles. Taliban urges U.S. to show heart after raking in $1.2 billion at UN donor conference. The U.S. is turning oil-rich Nigeria into a proxy for its Africa wars. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. No, don't use ivermectin-soaked tampons as COVID-19 prevention. Did Tim Tebow write apocalyptic Facebook post about cashless society? Yes, a billboard paired Trump's picture with a Bible verse about Jesus. U.S. Soccer says it has offered men, women identical contracts. U.S. lawyers ask British courts to tell Prince Andrew of suit. Sand, Catton, Piadas lead Toy Hall of Fame finalists. Did Biden pull down his mask at 9/11 ceremony? Biles tells Congress enough is enough after gymnast abuse. Did Chris Evans wear a Keep America Trumpless shirt? Did 1 in 500 U.S. residents die from COVID-19 by September 2021? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. No one push button to prevent Biden from speaking. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. White House visit, Twitter jail, Nicki Minaj's claims go up in smoke. Now cops are probing death of murdered housekeeper. Police department behind Elijah McClain's death is wildly racist, state AG finds. I lost faith in stain removers until I started using Charlie's soap, an eco-friendly, non-toxic laundry powder. My tagger, Elizabeth Holmes gushed about her bee's partner boyfriend as Theranos tanked. Trinidad government, we've probed Nicki Minaj's swollen testicles claim and it's bullshit. Biden says he has great confidence in General Milley following bombshell allegations. Theater is everything, Broadway's most devoted fans rejoice at its big reopening night. Van life couple got into physical fight days before 22-year-old vanished, police doc reveal. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Tom Brady throws some serious shade at ESPN. Jameson Taylor optimistic he'll return to Yankees rotation soon. Utah police not ruling out potential link between double murder and Gabby Petito case, report. Hochul, de Blasio defends vaccine mandates despite legal challenges. COVID-19 cluster linked to New York City's Electric Zoo Music Festival. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Where to see the next solar eclipse. These are the most peculiar galaxies you can observe. Explore the sky with ABERWORKS 2065 ED Deluxe binoculars. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. SpaceX launches all civilian crew on Inspiration 4 mission. SpaceX makes history with successful launch of first all-civilian crew to orbit Earth. Pfizer and Moderna support COVID booster shots. SpaceX to launch first all-civilian crew into orbit. Inspiration 4 civilian astronaut, cancer survivor Haley Arsenault writes a note to her younger self. Researchers to study long COVID in thousands of survivors. States aim to overhaul plastic recycling. New York and New Jersey declare states of emergency as Ida barrels through. Outcry after more than 1,400 dolphins killed in Faroe Islands. U.S. battles dangerous COVID surge as IQs fill up nationwide. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. Enormous solar superstorm could knock out the internet worldwide, study says. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. SpaceX launches first all-civilian crew to orbit Earth. Suspects charged in road rage shooting too violent to meet with attorney, attend hearing. White House denies inviting Nicki Minaj after star says she got invite over vaccine tweets. States learning how many Afghan evacuees coming their way. Minneapolis Supreme Court tosses murder conviction of former cop Mohammed Noor. Numerous students who participated in viral TikTok challenge facing vandalism charges. Wife of Marine killed in Kabul gives birth to baby girl. Biden admin agrees to cover NYC public hospitals $1 billion COVID tab after months of delay. US, UK to help Australia build nuclear submarine fleet in new partnership. Storm Nicholas inundates Gulf Coast in up to 10 inches of rain, stalls over Ida ravaged Louisiana. The following headlines are from military.com. Nearly 46,000 employees are holding out on the VA's COVID-19 vaccine order, agency says. US will help Australia build nuclear submarines as China looms. Air Force wants to move fast on boat plane for special operators. All GI Bill users soon will be required to contact the VA each month to receive payment. Afghan killed by drone praised by co-workers in US aid group. Milley defends calls to Chinese as effort to avoid conflict. What happens to soldiers who refuse the COVID vaccine? Russia claims battlefield breakthrough with robot tanks. 3 former U.S. intelligence operatives plead guilty to developing cyber weapons for the UAE. General promises U.S. surge against foreign cyber attacks. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Chicago Sky owner Michael Walter fined by City Ethics Board for seeking Mayor Lori Lightfoot's help on gambling license without registering as a lobbyist. Celebrating Mexican Independence Day, Chicago style, with car caravans and flag waving, it's a sense of belonging. Man charged with DUI after crashing into school bus in Crystal Lake, sheriff's office says. Lawsuit against Dennis Hastert involving hush money pact settles before trial. Chicago alderman raises, 6 council members reject 5.5% pay increase, other 44 accept automatic hike. 2 men dead after shooting and stabbing in Humboldt Park. Chicago aldermen pay, how much money each city council member makes. Pets at Chicago Heights South Suburban Humane Society wait to be adopted as shelters become overcrowded. Use Chicago Medicine's Emily Sharp Keller to compete on Jeopardy! Episode shot before host Mike Richards was ousted. Dan Cronin, longtime chairman of DuPage County Board, won't seek 4th term. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Los Angeles County votes to phase out oil and gas drilling. SpaceX aiming for night launch of 4 on first private flight. Climate change from a nuclear war smoke could threaten global food supplies, human health. Fed OK plan to cut salmon fishing when needed for orcas. Cartilage resurfacing implant reduces pain, restores hip joint function in dogs. Study finds some shark species tougher than others when it comes to surviving catch and release. Atmosphere, caring teachers at special schools most important for special educational needs children, study shows. New forecasting tool enables proactive conservation of New Zealand blue whales. Innocent children feeling pressure to admit guilt to avoid prosecution, report warns. New algorithmic approach predicts strong leaders. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, September 16th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The two sides of envy at work. Healthy food decisions can start at the grocery checkout. The quantum technology industry is creating entirely new jobs. How indirect DNA transfer is challenging forensics and overturning wrongful convictions. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Defoe scores winning run in 9th, Pirates keep red slumping. Ronald Quiato, Montreal beat shorthanded Orlando City 4-3. Republicans in Pennsylvania subpoena personal data on every voter in state. Frustration grows, silence continues around WSU coach Nick Rolovich's vaccination status. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll turned 70 this week, but you'd never tell without checking his birth certificate. Biden announces defense deal with Australia in bid to counter China. Husky linebacker Cooper McDonald hoping to beat his dad's former team Saturday against Arkansas State. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. West Contra Costa Unified could vote to become Bay Area's first district to mandate COVID vaccine mandate for everyone 12 and older. SF Giants facing tough choices with 3 players on injured list. SpaceX launches 4 amateurs into orbit. In conversation with the enthralling Mohammed Al-Mathani. Korea says recent test was of a rail-based weapon. Berkeley, man's death, thought to be medical emergency, actually hit and run. A's Chris Bassett looked like himself in bullpen session in Kansas City. What's next for the A's? Tony Kemp named A's Roberto Clemente Award nominee. Biles, FBI turned blind eye to reports of gymnasts' abuse. 2 injured in shooting at Mountain View Park. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. White House offers Nicki Minaj a call to answer vaccine questions. Wang Yi, China's foreign minister, blasted Five Eyes intel sharing pact. Democrats extend timeline to pass $3.5 trillion bill, slowed down by resistance from the party's moderates. Border apprehensions dropped in August, still on pace to challenge worst year on record. General Mark Milley's role in Trump's final days incites fear. Moderates, far-left Democrats clash over Pelosi's plan to lower Medicare drug prices. Newt Gingrich, GOP will win in 2022 by targeting Democrats as big government socialists. U.S., Australia, UK to share nuclear submarine technology under new security pact. Court rejects NSA warrantless surveillance lawsuit on state secrets grounds. Justice for J6 rally scares Washington but organizers call it a civil rights action. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Intelligence contract funnel to pro-war think tank establishment. Buffalo's developer class backing last-ditch attempt against socialist India Walton. Whip count, the Democrats who support the progressive reconciliation strategy. No accountability for war on terror atrocities. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, September 16th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. The decision that helped ignite Ian Happ's surge at the plate. White Sox closer Liam Hendriks wanted to make sure that our footprint was felt in community. 3 hurt, 1 critically, after multiple shooters opened fire outside Englewood business. Metro Board approves raise for CEO Jim Derwinski. Mayor Lightfoot's plan to use asset forfeiture to curb violence looks like an empty move. 2 men killed each other in shooting, stabbing near business in West Humboldt Park, police. Feds issue warnings about diet weed as Illinois lawmakers try again to crack down on hemp derivative. Governor Newsom's big California victory, Trumpism and what it means for Illinois politics. Bears LB Alec Ogletree regrets taunting penalty, accepts Eddie Jackson's rebuke. Bears left tackle trouble continues with Larry Borum out, Jason Peters limited. The next headlines are from the Times of India. North Korea says it tested rail-launched ballistic missiles. GPay storing info illegally, HC for RBI, UIDAI reply. India, Pakistan holding OIC hostage on J&K issue. Make all tribunal appointments in 2 weeks, SC to government. Z, advanced, sees 3-year low cutoff marks across categories. Gujarat cabinet swearing in delayed, to be held today. Tata Sons, group led by SpiceJet chief bid for Air India. IT surveys premises of actor Sonu Sood. Government bails out telcos with 4-year gap in spectrum, AGR payouts. Live, SpaceX rocket blasts off on all-civilian orbital mission. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, September 16th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Chris Williams is ahead of the table. U.S. Justice Department seeks immediate ban on Texas abortion law. Over 80,000 still lack power post-Nicholas. Review, Stranger Words, a horror story collection. 4 thoughts on the Rockets agree to move John Wall. Things to do, where to celebrate National Cheeseburger Day in Houston. Best of Houston 2021, Best Service. This week's best concerts. Houston theaters begin to announce COVID protocols. Best of Houston 2021, Best Bar. The next headlines are about world records making news. Kew Gardens gains Guinness World Record for its 17,000-strong plant collection, Yahoo Eurosport UK. Tallest teen, fastest hair skipping among 2022 Guinness World Records, Reuters. Cat and dog ride scooter together breaking world record, Guinness World Records. Mexican dad has world's largest collection of Disney's Cars memorabilia, Guinness World Records. German sisters break record for world's shortest female twins, Guinness World Records. Kew Gardens gains Guinness World Record for its 17,000-strong plant collection, Gazette. The world's most expensive animals, BBC News. Video, Francine Nyansabe shatters world record, Brisbane Times. World record holding powerlifter says Thor in God of War Ragnarok is the peak of male performance, Game Rant. Connecticut man catches possible world record catfish, Hartford Courant. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Shudder is teaming up with horror hostess Elvira for some seasonally appropriate programming. Insider NFT trading is a thing now. Leslie Odom Jr. and Cynthia Erivo traverse a time travel romance in Needle in a Time Stack. App Annie fined $10 million in case that is the future of insider trading. What if tried to make Black Panther's Killmonger Tony Stark's new black friend TM? Lawmakers ask Zuckerberg to drop Instagram for kids after report says app made kids suicidal. UK to recommend COVID-19 booster doses for older and high-risk people. Venom 2 has a shocking post-credit sequence, and Sony wants you to know it. I was just in shock, mass bird death reported in New York City. 200,000-year-old hand art found near a Tibetan hot spring. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Adrar in Algeria at 114.26 degrees Fahrenheit or 45.7 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Amundsen in Minus Scott's South Pole Station at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. U.S. hospitals buckling under Delta surge. 25% of intensive care units are over 95% full. Shocking Pixel 6 rumor lists Google SoC with 2 ARM X1 CPU cores. How the Le Mans hydrogen racer is shaping up. Crew Dragon has flown 4 more people, all private citizens, into space. The iPhone 13 is thicker and heavier than the iPhone 12. Walmart to begin driverless deliveries with Ford and Argo AI. Recent Ebola outbreak emerged from someone infected 5 years earlier. Backpage founders get mistrial because U.S. overplay child sex trafficking claims. Melting face, pregnant person, and 35 other emoji approved for Unicode 14.0. Anonymous leaks gigabytes of data from alt-right web host Epic. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump thinks justice for J 6 feet rally organized by his ex-staffer is a setup, report. Larry Elder promotes article about California voters getting what they deserve after humiliating loss. Nicki Minaj makes wild new claims as her days-long vaccine meltdown continues. Michigan GOP lawmaker stripped of his legislative duties after being accused of domestic abuse. Vaccine bashing comedian makes animal noises to protest mandates in bizarre Tucker Carlson interview. People are dying. New Hampshire lawmaker who quit GOP slams his former party for embracing anti-vaxxers. Utah Republican accuses local hospitals of lying about the reasons they're out of intensive care unit beds. GOP consultant rages at Larry Elder's astonishing screw-ups that wrecked party's chances of beating Newsom. California recall proves running COVID candidates is political suicide for GOP, Joy Reid. CNN's Acosta flabbergasted that Larry Elder is teasing another run for governor. He was a gift to Democrats. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Michaela Maroney's powerful testimony to Congress shows the uphill battle survivors face. After shuttering for almost 2 years, The Village Vanguard reopens to live audiences. The extreme right's favorite web provider just got hacked. Anxious about climate, 4 in 10 young people are wary of having kids. Biden just threw a bone to Big Almond. The California recall effort has officially failed. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. 3 UWA researchers recipients of Young Tall Poppy Science Awards, University News, the University of Western Australia. Comparative Genomics provides insights into the aquatic adaptations of mammals, pnas.org. Ayahuasca, everything you need to know. The Costa Rican News, the Costa Rican News. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, September 16, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Breaking, Congressional bill for new UFO UAP investigations unit put on union calendar. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, September 16, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News I8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News I8. All rights reserved.